Okay, running backs then.
Yeah, man.
Do we sign a guy?
How you feeling about it?
I'm just really indifferent. I don't really care.
Okay. Now,
The guys that are available, they're fine.
Yeah.
So if we do sign one, thumbs up, perfect. Phillip Lindsay, I think he might be the best match at this point. There's Tariq Cohen's out there. David Johnson.
you don't want your boy David Johnson as the number 2 guy?
No, I'm good on that.
Oh, okay.
That was in the past. You brought up Latavius Murray the one time.
He's the guy that I think is kind of intriguing just because the money with it. I think that costs, it doesn't cost as much.
There's no one else out here I'm really interested in. Do we
Carlos
spin the block
Hyde,
on
he's
Kalen
still
Ballage
available.
again? But what's the difference between... I do think we should have maybe given him some more carries, but I was going to say, what's the difference between him and Benny Snell, really?
Who?
Kalen Ballage.
Oh, I thought you were about to say Carlos Hyde and Benny Snell. I was like, wait a minute. I think
Carlos Hyde's had a good
I
NFL
was gonna say,
career.
I
He's
think he was better.
31,
Yeah.
though. I mean...
But that's when we signed D'Angelo Williams. He was in that same class.
Yeah, this isn't going to hurt. I'm actually just kind of intrigued in what Mateo Duran could do. That's my thing. But it doesn't hurt bringing in a proven guy. I just feel like we're going to have to cut a lot of dudes then. I mean, it's probably 2 or 3 running backs we're cutting if we sign a guy, which isn't the worst thing.
But my thing is, are you willing to see what a Mateo Durant can do, knowing that he's an undrafted rookie and knowing the probability of him developing to that caliber player this year? The odds are stacked against him. Whereas when we're talking about bringing in one of these veteran guys, we know what it looked like for Najee last year. He had no backup. When he came off the field, we saw a clear-cut drop-off. But we also saw at the end of the year when it kind of caught up to him, the usage and stuff like that. I'm just trying to think in the sense of knowing that information. Am I willing to take a chance on a Mateo Durant the same way we took chances on Benny Snell and Anthony McFarland, who at least were drafted, who at least were higher pedigree guys who were even talked about, I guess, in a better light coming out?
Yeah.
Whereas with Durant right now, it's more so we're excited about him solely because we didn't draft the guy and because we got Benny Snell and McFarland on the roster right now. That's like what I'm just trying to think of, like, is that the best way to go about this thing?
Well, Durant still has to beat out Snell or McFarland.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, I'm good with any one of those guys being RB2 because I know it's not really the end of the world if they are, because I know the workload that Najee's going to get. Now, that's not to say we can't sign someone. I'm not opposed to it. I just don't think it's that pressing of a need.
Gotcha.
Like, we could sign any of these dudes probably in like 2 or 3 months. Because
they're not going to cost, and they don't cost. We're talking about $1 million to $2 million for some of these dudes. Tops.
So maybe it's like you see what those 3 or 4 running backs got. Snell, McFarland, Durant, and training camp. I'm sure one of these guys will be available if you don't have any faith in any one of those guys, whether it's Snell, McFarland, Durant, or Warren.
Now, I keep seeing some people in the chat. David Muse, I see you. Alex Perez, not all the way see you, but
Bell.
I see you.
They're bringing up Bell.
That's the guy they're
Are you
bringing up,
serious?
man.
Nah, we're done.
Some people are bringing him up, man.
We just got to call it, man.
Javi Berg, 420. I'm down with L. Bell.
We got to call it.
Trenton, Ben Goated. Bell would fit perfect coming back with the purple demon emojis and the black heart.
We got to call it.
Uh-oh.
I'm done.
David Muse, bring back L. Bell. We need a 1-2 punch. Just saying, man.
I wouldn't be opposed. I'm done, though. Nah, I'm not pushing for it. You're not going to hear me push for it.
So you're done with the band. You're done with L. Bell and AB. Who would have thought we'd get both of those
They got rid of the lead
day?
singer.
Wow. Whoa. He was the lead singer?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
They forced him out.
Oh, wow.
Mutiny.
They just want to go.
Mutiny
They wanted a younger guy. They was like, you know what, man? We need to go a little bit younger. We need a better face of the band.
Like, yeah, I'm done. Like, dude, I don't know. A lot has changed over these past few months. Martavis, not even a thought. No.
Who? I just don't know who I'm talking. Who is this guy? Who am I sitting next to all of a sudden, man? What was got into you, man?
It's a new era. Wow. Give Pickett his guys.
Respect, man.
Pickens, Austin. Hopefully Claypool and Deontay could get things straightened out here, too.
I like it. I expect Canada to light it up this year, man, because I know he just didn't have his weapons. Now he has his weapons. He's good to go, bro. It's all good, bro. I'm with it, man. I ain't tripping. So I do kind of agree with you, though, man. I like, part of me wants to see what these younger guys can do in terms of Mateo Durant, but the other side of me is very skeptical of it just because I know year in and year out what it's like for these younger guys, not just carving out a role, but making the roster. Like, that's not an easy thing to do. And to expect one of these dudes to be able to come in and legitimately contribute at a 30% clip for Najee, like, I I don't know if I feel as optimistic about the guys that we just named that are in house. That's my only hiccup.
Oh, you think it's gonna be? I don't even think it's gonna be 30% though.
But see, for me,
we talk
the reason,
about it, but usually when it's the nitty gritty, it's like Najee 90%.
No, like we know Coach Tom wants to ride the hot hand, but the reason why I say 30% is because it's portions of the game where he's technically not the hot hand at that moment. Those are some of the plays where I'm like, yo, if you can save him a little bit,
right?
This is where you use those guys. But if you're Coach Tom and you're looking over and it's Benny Snell and Anthony McFarland as is currently seen in the backfield, not saying what they could do this season, but what they've currently done, you're not feeling confident putting those guys out there as often. You're just not, whether you're talking protection, whether you're talking holding on to the ball, whether you're talking even having them run a route or on occasion. It's just like those guys don't give you that type of confidence. Whereas when we're talking about some of these veteran free agents, especially with the price point, I think that it's a different thought process, a different comfort that goes into it. And that's why I brought up the D'Angelo Williams example.
Yeah.
Because when he came over, he was older. He had already been out of his prime, but he was a guy that still had enough to complement L. Bell. And at the time, none of us expected L. Bell to miss any time. But what ended up happening? He missed time. He missed time every single season. Even with him having back-to-back years of 400 touches, he still would miss time. So that's why for me, I'm like, all right, if law of averages says that, hey, man, this guy could miss some time at some point, and we saw him not miss substantial time last year in terms of Najee, but we saw him get hurt with the elbow injury, and it looked very different when he went back out there. That's the part for me where I'm like, does it hurt to just have a little bit higher in backup piece? Just a tinky bit higher?
Well, we might have missed out on some guys that would have been more perfect.
Okay.
With Marlon Mack, Michelle, Ronald Jones.
I agree. Sonny Michelle was the one.
You got Matt Breida. Yeah, like those guys. I mean, the backup running back market I thought was robust, but these guys just. I mean, they're signing for like $1.5 million, $1 million, but they just kind of slowly got signed, and we're not really making anything of it. Because then you still have like Phillip Lindsay, Carlos Hyde, Tariq Cohen, Dave Johnson, Latavius Murray, but I do think it's gone down a little bit where I'm just not as excited about one of those guys compared to maybe a Marlon Mack or Ronald Jones.
Because at first we were at the yard sale and it was like a lot of pieces out there. Now we're like, we caught the yard sale, we done left and came back. And
Alex Collins, I mean, he put a number on us last year.
Hey man,
he's 27.
That's the dancer, man. Come on, man.
Peyton Barber, Devonta Freeman. I'm good.
Cohen is interesting to me.
Carlos Hyde, he didn't even have a good year last year. Neither did Lindsay. I know. Who knows? Things could change. You get into a different system, find a better role
as well, man.
Right, exactly. Yeah, Carlos Hyde with Jacksonville, that was a dumpster fire. Lindsay, Texans, dumpster fire, goes to Miami. Yeah, so that could be a bad year for both those guys in terms of finding a niche.
He had to go, he bounced around, dumpster fire. Come on, man. Yeah, same thing. I'm with you, bro.
Oh yeah, he ended up on Tampa Bay last year.
He scored for Tampa, bro. Yeah, come on, man. And we know what type of organization that was down there. Yeah, he had to bounce around a little bit. So
No, he was on good teams.
The return.
Chiefs the year prior, but then Ravens and then Bucks.
I forgot the Ravens stint. Yeah, he did. He did have some Ravens in there. Scored with the Ravens too, man.
Bad, dude.
He touched some paint with the Ravens though. He was all right.
You look at his Pro Football Reference. That's just not what you want to see.
When that thing starts stacking multiple teams in the same year, you're like, oh,
Adrian Peterson-esque.
Oh, no.
At least Peterson had some good years with Washington, though. Now it's getting bad. Like the single game with like Tennessee or like
Detroit,
he on Seattle?
He had Detroit for like a couple weeks, too.
I thought he played good on Detroit, though, too. But now it's, I think it was, 3 teams last year or something. It's been bad.
Yeah. I forgot the Seattle thing, too. I
think it was Seattle, Tennessee.
I forgot all about Seattle, bro. He definitely had some time in Seattle. Yeah. That's crazy.